All right, let's look at number 5. Mike weighs 200 pounds, plans to lose 1.5 pounds a week. Jeff weighs 180 pounds, plans to lose half a pound a week. When will they weigh the same? Okay, so Mike, when are they the same? So when are they equal? We're going to make these equal. Mike weighs 200. He plans to lose, so he's going to decrease his weight by 1.5 pounds per week. When is that equal to Jeff? He weighs 180 and plans to lose, so he's going to take away half of a pound each week. When are they the same? All right, so move the smaller variable to the bigger variable. Now, this one's one of those somewhat confusing times when we have to look at this and say this is a negative 1.5x and this is a negative 0.5. Which one has the smaller value? This one. So we need to get rid of this variable by adding 1.5x, and we have to do that on both sides. This creates a 0 pair. Bring everything straight down. On the left-hand side, we have 200 equals 180, and so we have a value of minus 0.5 or negative 0.5x plus 1.5x gives us 1x. We don't need the 1, we could write it, but fortunately we are left with x. So now we would subtract 180 to get the variable by itself. These create a 0 pair, and x equals 20. So how many weeks will they weigh the same? They'll weigh the same in 20 weeks. So 5 is C. On to 6. Carla and Rob left a 20% tip after having lunch at a restaurant. The amount of the tip was $6. Carla's lunch cost $15. Which equation can you use to find X, the cost of Rob's? So, this one, they're leaving a 20% tip after having lunch. So they're having, well, 20%, we need to rewrite as 0.2. So C cannot be our answer. We have, let's see, that's important. The amount of the tip was $6. So that's the total that we're paying. So we need to equal 6. So it's one of these two. Carla's lunch cost 15. And we need Rob's lunch. So actually we can find the answer out now without really any more explanation, but we're going to explain it just a little bit. You're tipping, so this 20% is taken from both of their lunches. A is telling us that we're just taking 20% from Rob's lunch. That's not the case. Whatever Carla eats and Rob eats, you're going to tip on both of those. So whatever Rob eats plus whatever Carla eats, we know that she eats $15 worth. Whatever that is, we're going to take 20% of, and that equals 6. So 6 is B. On to 7. Larry saves 15% of his annual salary for retirement. This year, his salary was $2,000 more than last year, and he saved $3,300. What was his salary last year? Okay. So he saved, his total is actually $3,300. So we're going to have equals 3,300. He saves 15%. We're going to rewrite 15% as 0.15. So this year it was 2,000 more than last year. So we have last year's plus, last year's plus 2,000 We're going to take 15% of that, and this year he's going to save 3,300. So as last year, he increases last year's by 2,000. He's going to take 15% of that, and that's his savings. And it tells us that his savings are 3,300. So now we solved this. We could multiply by 100, might make our lives easier, or we could Just keep it as 0 and 1500th times x plus, what is 15 times, I'm going to come to the side here. So 2000 times 0.15. Bring down at 0, 0, 0, 0, 2. So we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 3. Move the decimal twice. 1, 2. So 300. 15% of 2000 is 300. And that gives us 3,300. So this is where we are. Now we would need to subtract 300. That would give us a zero pair. Bring everything straight down. 1500ths x equals 3,000. We need to divide by 1500ths, divide by 1500ths. So 3,000 divided by 1500ths. Move the decimal twice. Add a decimal and move it twice. 15 goes into 30 twice. That's 30, and then we can just bring up these 4 zeros. So 7 is, x equals 20,000. 7 is C. For which equation, which value of k will create an equation with infinite many solutions? Okay, infinite many means the left side has to match the right side. So for number 8, we have 4 times 4x plus 10 equals 8x plus something. So you would get 8x plus 20 equals 8x plus, for there to be infinite many solutions, this side has to equal this side. So 8x plus 20 has to equal 8x plus 20. So 8 is C as well. On to 9, which of the following equations has no solution? So which of these have no solutions? So we're going to have to figure them out. So for number 9, we have A. Let's distribute. So A becomes 2 times 6 is 12, plus 2 times x is 2x, equals 14 plus 2x. Now we would move the smaller variable to the bigger variable, so let's move 2x, move 2x. This would create a zero pair. This creates a zero pair. 12 equals 14. No, it doesn't. A is actually our answer. This is not a true statement, so there are no solutions. But let's do, we can just look at B. We have 5x minus 10 equals x plus 20. Subtract x, and we would get 4x minus 10 equals 20. Add 10 to both sides, and you'd get 4x equals 30. Divide by 4. And x would equal 7.5. So B has one solution. Moving on to C. So I'm going to distribute and write it out. C is 2 times 4 is 8 plus 2x equals 8 plus 2x. 8 plus 2x equals 8 plus 2x. These are the same, which means C has infinite many solutions. And D, we get 10x plus 5 equals, let's distribute this, 15x plus 3 times 7 is 21. So we would subtract 10x from both sides, and we get 5 equals 5x plus 21. Subtract 21. These will cancel. We're left with 5x equals negative 16. We would divide by 5, and x equals negative 3.2. That has one solution. So those do not work. We found the answer already before, but we wanted to do those just to get some extra practice. Moving on to 10, which is equivalent to this. And so we're looking at scientific notation. In scientific notation, our base number only has one digit in front, so we need 2.35. This is a rather large number. It's greater than 1, so our exponent will be positive. So it cannot be A or B. How many times do you have to move the decimal point to get from here to here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. So the answer to 10 is